Tonight, is the customer always wrong?
The only thing I've ever noticed is the customer is always stupid.
Debating service with a smile, right here on Crossballs.
Comedians posing as experts.
Pot is good for everyone.
Women are designed for sex.
Hunting is self-defense.
I drive drunk all the time.
Debating real people.
I'm not gay.
It's totally immoral.
Who don't know the show is fake.
That's a lie. You're an idiot.
Die.
Out of the crossfire, beyond hardball. This is Crossballs.
I'm Chris Tallman. Tonight, does the service industry need some tips on politeness? First up, a secret shopper who works towards protecting standards in the service industry, Barbara McCauley. Also with us from the Workers Advocacy Group, Workers Aligned Against Inappropriate Treatment, Matthew Bentley. Thank you for being with us. Question of the day. Do American customers expect too much from workers who are paid too little? Barbara, let's start with you.
No, not at all. I feel if you are serving the customer, you absolutely have to be cordial, you have to be wonderful, and make them have a good experience in your facility.
So basically the customer is always right.
Exactly.
Matt, how do you respond?
Did I just hear that you're a secret shopper? Do you know what we call secret shoppers?
No.
We call them narcs. Because that's what you are. You're a narc.
No, I'm not a narc.
Yeah.
I'm not a narc.
You're not a narc?
No, I'm not.
Why?
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is making sure that the customer is comfortable everywhere they go and spend their money. And
That's what I just said, narc.
It's
yeah,
not a
you're
narc.
just, it's...
What? All right.
You're like you're just like the SS. You're
What?
Just, you're
Yeah,
just,
come on.
No, this is protecting the employer. The employer
okay,
needs to know about their people, and that's why they have us, and it helps them.
You're a narc.
I'm not a narc.
I represent all workers who have to deal with customers, okay? And we live in this service with a smile world now, and service with a smile is just another way of shackling us. It's a way of making us into slaves. And the managers are slave masters, and you're a slave narc.
I don't agree with that.
You disagree?
I disagree.
Why do you disagree? Tell him why he's wrong.
Because slave master. No.
I said you're a slave narc. You work for the slave
I'm
master.
not a narc. You need to release that narc thing.
Tell him why he's wrong.
Who wants to go to a place and the people are all miserable and they look like stone face? I wouldn't want
Do
to
you
go
like
there.
it when people lie to you?
No, but I'd like them to be pleasant when I'm eating.
Well, that's lying. It
takes a lot more to be miserable and to frown than to smile. It's backwards. You have it completely
Believe
backwards.
me, I'm having a really easy time right now not smiling.
Oh, well,
if I smile, watch this. It's easy. It's all there. Okay, this forces this up into here, forces the skin up into my, and now it causes a headache up here. Everybody knows that. When you're forced to smile, you get a headache.
Everybody knows when you walk into a restaurant or something, you want to be greeted with a smile. All right, I get it. Let's move on. What rights should retail workers have? Matt.
Well, we have the right to not know everything, and that's what customers always expect. They expect that we know everything, and it's not fair. Like, you'll have customers come in and go, how much does this cost? And it's like, I don't know. I didn't make the product. You know, I'm not God. I'm not omnipotent. What do you expect from me?
It's part of your job to know.
I had this elderly woman the other day say, she was really nosy. She came up to me and she was like, what time does the store close? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't own the store. I didn't build the store. I'm not God. How am I supposed to know?
You don't know the hours where you work?
Isn't that
I
basic?
did, but it was none of her business.
Wait,
I see.
you did know and you didn't tell her?
I don't know. She doesn't have some nephew that's going to knock the place off or whatever.
Come on.
I don't know. It's none of her business.
No,
She wants to know what the store hours are and then she can come work there. I got this job because I wanted a job that I can be high on the job and nothing bad happens.
Well, that explains it. That's your argument right there.
You believe the customer is always right. The only thing I've ever noticed is the customer is always stupid. That's the common denominator. Let me ask you this.
Not true.
So, Charlie Manson, he was a customer at some point. Was he right?
I'm not going to touch that.
Hitler was a customer at some point, wasn't he?
Not touching that either.
Was he right when he was a customer?
That's not fair.
She believes Hitler was right. She just said that.
No,
I don't.
Yeah, you did. You believe Hitler's right.
That's your
Yes, it
loaded
does.
question. There's no way she can answer that question
She said
fairly.
always. Don't throw around always then.
In a recent survey, millions of Americans cited long lines and wait times as a major annoyance. Are lines getting longer and slower, or are customers getting less patient? Matt.
The only way to make them faster is to cut your customers down into the groups they belong in and give them certain days of the week.
Right.
For instance, Old People Monday. Monday, have old people come in. Everybody knows old people slow down lines. They do. They do. You want to know why? Not only do they move slower, they use the line to socialize, talk about their grandchildren. Sometimes they get in line, they forget what building they're even standing in. They look at the product in their hand and forget what it's used for. They have no idea what's going on. We need to have Old People Mondays, have 2 lines, have a pre-line for them to socialize on, and then when they're done with the pre-line, get into the real line so they can buy something.
What do you think about that?
That won't work. That's crazy.
Why?
You can't give them an old person day.
Why not?
Something
they have
like,
ladies' night at bars. What's the difference?
You can't make them come at specific times. You can't do it.
What about Fat Tuesday? I want to have a Fat Tuesday.
What's Fat Tuesday?
This is, people aren't going to like this, but fat people slow down lines too. Why? Because they're always multitasking. They're always eating in line, you know, and not to mention getting salt and cheese all over the money they're trying to give me. Let me not talk about that. Another thing, Gay Wednesday, okay?
What?
Or easy to remember, call it Hump Day because you know they like to hump. Anyway. Gay people use lines for cruising. If there's any gay people in the audience, they know I'm being truthful. You use it for cruising. Give them their own day of the week. Also have the specialty stamps out and ready if it's the post office because gays love specialty stamps. All the Judy Garland stamps will be there ready, so I don't have to go looking for them. Is Judy Garland it? Yeah, it's right here. Here we go.
He's just using horrible stereotypes now, isn't he?
Whoa, what? You think gays don't like Judy Garland? Do you really believe that?
I'm saying,
how about Thursday?
Oh, God. What is Thursday?
Jewish Thursday, okay? We all know Jews try to hog the line and make it their own and control it. Name the line Israel or whatever.
That's offensive. That's just offensive.
And then there's the gypsies who always try to cut in line, steal their place in line.
What are you talking about? The gypsies?
You have issues with gay people. You have issues with fat people. You have issues with old people. You have issues. You have issues with nice people.
I have a gay, fat, Jewish friend of mine, so I can say all this.
That's ridiculous. Next up, cheap restaurant patrons, the tip of the iceberg.
Level tip based on how much do you get guilted into handing over.
Stay tuned. Welcome back. Restaurant servers underpaid or putting the weight in waitress. Joining us now is a 22-year veteran of the service industry, Kelly Nicholson, and creator of the website Tipping is Stupid, Andy Dale. How important are tips to a waitress? Kelly.
Well, I agree that tipping is stupid because I believe that tips should be included in the price of all goods and services.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Why is that?
It's the only type of employment that people rely on the honor system. I don't know even why that's allowed, why it's legal.
All right, Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think tipping is a terrible thing. I think it is a situation where the entire society has basically been brainwashed into doing this illogical thing where you pay more than the value of something. I don't understand that, and what it does, the effect of it is that it makes going out to eat, which should be a pleasant experience, into an entire experience of extortion and guilt trip and manipulation and feeling terrible. That's what tipping does to people, and it also makes it cost prohibitive for certain people to go out to eat.
You are the reason that I believe tips should be included in the cost of meals and drinks.
Well, look, if you want me to pay a little extra, you got to give me something a little extra. That's what I'm saying, a free dessert.
Getting free stuff, is that it, just free stuff?
Absolutely, maybe a back rub. You want to give me a back rub? I'll give you an extra 10% on the pre-tax amount of the meal, maybe.
What?
You give me a phone number, I'll give you 12%.
If you get a phone number, you'll earn tips. You're nodding your head.
That's another example of how people look at servers as not human beings. They expect us to serve with a smile.
Of course.
And what job are you
expect you to serve with a smile.
according to your smile?
Yeah.
When the plumber comes to my house,
that made me smile.
a dirty, stinky plumber. He's got his pants hanging down. I can see the crack of his butt. He stinks.
Every
He's not
time,
nice.
every
He's
time.
rude. I don't have an option whether or not I pay his $45 per hour fee. There's no option. There's no argument about it. It's not the honor system.
Do you tip? You don't have to tip your plumber.
I pay him $45 an hour.
And
That's why they show the butt cracks. They want you to stick the dollars in there.
Come on. Knock it off.
enough. That's not true.
I would be happy to be paid $45 an hour as a bartender. That's about what I make.
What did she say?
Take it up with your boss. Leave me out.
What about what she said? What about quickly?
One night a guy signed his credit card bill. He gave me a really crummy, like a 5% tip on his tab. So I read it, and I took in front of his date. I said, excuse me, but can you tell me what it says on that line? And he gave me the total. And I said, well, I want to make sure that I don't make a mistake and assume that I got the wrong tip. And I made him say what he had tipped me, and he was so embarrassed. His date came back the next week, thanked me, and said, you rock. You saved me from dating a cheap guy.
Wow. You broke up a relationship.
Why shouldn't you be embarrassed?
I'll tell you who there are two villains in that story. You're the villain for exposing him like that, and she's the villain for being such a materialistic bitch. That's a horrible story. Let me tell you, you're a liar and you break up relationships.
So we gotta move on. Next issue. Mr. Dale claims that when waiters get annoyed with a customer, they actually take it out on your food. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Of course they do. Look, if you don't cave into their demands for extra money, or if you have the nerve to send something back to the kitchen 3 or 4 times so they can get it right, they're going to spit in your food. Everybody knows this happens. You know, I mean, take a look at the classic story of the mouse that ends up in the pasta. You know, think about that. How'd that happen? Does a mouse love pasta so much that he climbs into it and suffocates? Give me a break. All right. They put it in there.
We have some footage of one of these incidents taken from a reality show special on CBS called I Hate My Job. Let's have a look.
It's going to blow your mind.
All right, Kelly, what do you think of the video?
What do you don't applaud that?
I know that goes on. It's terrible. I don't condone it.
That's happening right now.
And why?
I'm
Because
afraid to
people
send
don't
food
tip
back
enough.
in places.
Oh,
Well, because people are rude and don't treat the servers as other human beings. You should treat any server just like you would treat anyone else.
All right,
That's exactly what
Barbara,
I
what do you think of the video?
I think it's disgusting.
And that goes on? Does that surprise you?
No.
Really?
I've heard stories that it goes on. It's also a reason why they have mystery shopping, I think, so that they can go into the companies and find out what's really going on.
Well, that means that you're getting your food and smelling the baked potatoes, see if someone's farted on it.
Oh, come on.
How else is she finding out? I tell you what, it happens in retail, too. If someone's rude to me, I'll pube their item. I pube it.
That's gross. All right, coming up, in the restaurant business, is it every manager for himself?
Nuns need priests, nurses need doctors, waitresses need managers.
More Crossballs when we return. Welcome back. Are the waitress wars waiting to explode? Joining us now via satellite is restaurant owner and staff training consultant Jerry Hammond. Jerry, you've been in the news recently for controversial restaurant management seminars you give. Tell us a little about that.
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of managing, really, to me, is style. You know, fresh name tag, starch in the collar, jewelry catching a waitress's eye. These are the kind of things that the waitresses give you respect. And I guarantee you, by the end of this interview, your other guest on here, she's going to want to work for me.
What?
I guarantee you.
Is that true? Is what you saying makes sense to you? Is that a good manager?
Well, I agree with the appearance thing and the aura that you put out and taking care of the customer service. I agree with all that. But I just have to correct you one thing. Men are waiters, too. So let's be politically correct here. It's servers, not just waitresses anymore.
Well,
so,
I don't roll that way, but, you know, if you...
Jerry, your seminars teach an unorthodox waitress training process. Mr. Hammond, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, and I like to say that's Hammond, that's with 2 M's for a double dose of that managing. I teach managers, first of all, that when you teach a waitress not to just serve food, but you have to control their mind. And when I say that...
What?
A good manager really knows how to control a waitress, and that's when you're a real manager. Any woman can be turned into a waitress. But only certain women will stick with it. I mean, it's a hard job. I mean, a lot of women don't want to do that. So you want to find waitresses that, you know, maybe young, low self-esteem, abused by their fathers.
Wait,
they're tighter on the job.
What are you talking? Does that make? Is there any truth to that?
Okay, the true part of it is that when you are young and you have low self-esteem, you are willing to be put in a position where you allow yourself to be abused. So he's right about that.
Yeah,
but it's wrong to accept any kind of employment in our country to allow that to go on.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very, very discriminatory.
It's all about attitude, not aptitude, so you can reach that altitude.
okay,
you see what I'm saying?
Is that, I mean...
These are just part of the rules that I put down to get tips from those fools. I'm teaching them the little tricks that it takes.
Like what?
To be a good Western. Eye contact, laughter, small talk, stimulate a trick's mouth. You know, any man can... Sorry?
What? What? I don't understand. What does that mean? What is he talking about?
Well, that means you talk to them. You make small talk. You make eye contact. Flirt. You know, flirting a little bit. I mean, these are the things that'll get you tipped well.
Manipulation.
No, it is manipulative, and most sales jobs are manipulative. I mean, that's just the way it is. But people should not be put in the position where they have to manipulate money out of someone. They should be guaranteed a certain amount.
I tell my waitresses all the time, move those hips and those lips and get those tips.
Barbara, that's wrong, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's just wrong.
That's terrible.
Tell them why it's horrible.
It's harassment. It's
not harassment. Look at me, I'm splendid.
You should not. You might think you're splendid, but I don't think anybody agrees with you.
I hope you're not backing up any of this behavior with violence. I hope it never comes to that, does it?
Chris, you hope it doesn't have to come to that. I mean, no.
What?
No, I mean, sometimes waitresses get out of pocket and you have to put the hand down, but I don't have to do that. That's rare. That's a very rare occasion. You can do it with the mind. You do it with the mind. You don't have to use anything physical.
Is this a cult? I mean, you play with their minds, your waitresses?
Yeah, I don't understand. What does that mean, out of pocket and put the hand down? Translate
crazy.
that.
Chris, what are you going to do if you got a waitress saying, I'm not coming to work this weekend. I don't feel like serving that table. I can't handle it. There's ways that you can persuade them to do that. And if they get so far out of pocket, yes, I will slap that wig back to the fat meat. If you're going to hit a waitress, if you're going to do it, man, you gotta do it like she thinks that you're gonna kill her. And then you're gonna have a good waitress.
That's horrible.
You're gonna have a good waitress.
Jerry Dog, coming up. One expert says she can solve the homeless problem and provide a service to all citizens. More Crossballs when we return. Welcome back. There are 95 million service jobs in America, but millions are still without jobs altogether, or worse, without homes. Joining us via satellite is an advocate for homeless Americans, Mary Davies. Mary, tell us about how you're helping.
The homeless need to be working. Working is the key before they starve and die or turn to a life of crime. Now, I'm very active in my community, and I was asking myself what I could do. And honestly, one day I was just walking down my street and I saw a homeless person slip on a pile of dog crap, to be quite honest. But he went flying through the air, and it was a light bulb went off in my head. You know, that homeless people are very funny and that they would make wonderful clowns. And that's when I started the outreach program that I call Project Bobo. And it's an experimental program we're trying out, and it makes depressed areas with homeless much more festive, and it puts the homeless to work doing something that they love.
Oh, so hold on. So you're getting homeless people jobs as clowns, like at birthday parties and like singing telegrams, that kind of thing?
No. Can you imagine? No. Heavens, no. That would be disastrous. No, we're leaving the homeless exactly where they are.
We have footage from a local news station which covered Ms. Davies' work with the homeless. Let's take a look.
America's homeless, a growing population in bleak economic times. One controversial homeless relief program called Project Bobo is lending a hand.
I wanted to give back to my neighborhood, you know, and I looked around and I thought, well, we certainly have a lot of homeless, but you know what we don't have a lot of? Laughs.
Project Bobo started 5 months ago in the downtown area, with volunteers helping each member of the homeless create their own clown character, often based on their unique personality or mental illness.
Color, and that beautiful brown skin of yours. Look at that.
It's finally okay to look at the homeless. I mean, no more walking by
and pretending you don't see somebody doing something funny. And they are really funny.
Take it, Nagasaki, pal! Nagasaki, pal! You think that you shut up! Everybody shut up! Are you kidding me, dude? I'm gonna take the bus!
While many experts believe Project Bobo is not the best solution to the homeless crisis, it is, at the very least, a colorful one. Carla Tucker, San Diego.
That's sad. That's ridiculous.
All right, Callie, what do you think about the video?
I just don't see how this helps their esteem or helps them to become their mental health or their stability. With people laughing at them, and basically people are making fun of them and laughing at them and giving them handouts, that's not helping them become productive people.
I know how they do the box trick.
All right, Barbara.
Yeah.
Does that take away their dignity at all?
Yes, it does.
All right, now tell me why.
Because, again, you don't know. It could be mental illness. It could be just loss of everything, money, and they're still coming out of the box.
All right, that'll have to be the last word. We will see you next time when more experts get caught between the crossballs. Good night.
Hi, I'm Bobby Lee, and I'm on Mad TV.
What's your choice for Best Picture?
Chicago.
My choice for Best Picture is this one.
What's great about playing Connie Chung, you put the wig on me and I look exactly like her. Put the same wig on me and I'm Michelle Kwan or Lucy Liu.
Damn.
Precious.
Ain't.